Hi friends, welcome. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. It's a home tour, and this is my summer home tour. And probably about 2-3 weeks I'll switch it over to fall. But this is summer for now, so welcome to my home. Here's our view from the front porch. Come on in. That's a magnolia wreath. I believe I ordered it off Amazon. I just adore magnolias. I had never seen them in person nor smelled them till we moved here to North Carolina. And the smell is divine. I'm gonna close the door here so we can come on into the entryway. And that was made by me with nails and wire. It has my favorite hymn behind it to represent the cross Christ died on. That's the market house. That's in downtown Fayetteville, and it's one of the oldest structures in the city. It's been around a long time. My little table. I believe I got this little house at Canting Stars. And then the vase, along with the little flinky. Well, actually, the vase came from Hobby Lobby, but the flinkies came from this store downtown called The Promise. It's a Christian store. And the nest was empty, but I thought it needed a bird. That also came from The Promise. And then that's Eve. She's faux, but I still love her. And she had to have a flower crown for summer. I'll put some leaf crown on her for fall. And then just some books to kind of give her some height. And then this table was a gift from my husband for my birthday a year ago. Not this year, the year before. And then we have a little suitcase. It used to be in another room as a cat bed, but the cats didn't really lie in it. And then I put a basket on its side with some vintage hardbounds. Some vintage, some not. But it was a way to hide the electrical cord because I don't like electrical cords. I mean, I like them because I want my stuff to work, but I don't want to see them. I want fashion over function. So there's a little peek into the library. Our hall tree. I'm getting glare there, but that's a little rug my daughter gave us. Has our pets on it, Lenny, Mika, and then Lexi. And this was a wedding gift from a friend. Thought it was pretty funny. And that is the entryway to our home. That color is called spiced cider. And I love it. I love the warmth it gives. And then the blue of the door is called Egyptian blue. I love the stained glass that was in the house when we bought it. But, so yeah, there's the entryway. And here's the living room. Got a little sneak hidey peek cat bed back there. Lexi usually likes to lie in it. In this quilt, I bought it at one of my first estate sales. I think it's kind of a crazy quilt because it has a pattern, but it doesn't. I love it. My oldest daughter, Haley, painted this picture for me. And then my other daughter, my youngest, Callie, she made these. So if I can get past the glare, there's Mika. And Lexi. If I stand back a little bit, I can get rid of some of the glare so you can see it. But she did an amazing job. I love them. Speaking of Lexi, yes? Do you want to make your debut on camera? You've already been on several times. What are you doing? Are you gonna come with the tour? Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So this we bought from a lady in Omaha that used to redo furniture. Her company was Conversation Piece, P-E-A-C-E, but she no longer refinishes furniture. So good thing we got furniture that we liked from her while we could. My daughter and I bought the little plant. It's faux, fake, whatever, not real. at Walmart. We each have one because we just thought it was kind of fun and sweet. And the kitty I just bought at Sanford Antique Mall. It was discounted because the leg had been broken, repaired, but I don't care. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. It's so realistic looking. And it's so, I mean, look at the size of it. It's huge. But I just think it's so lovely. Love kitties. This is Jolene. Hopefully she'll survive. She was in the office, and I don't think she was liking it too well. And she'll be a spiller plant as she grows. So I'm hoping that she likes the sunshine of the front, because there's definitely more sunshine up front. Then over here we have a coffee table. We bought that, one of the last things we bought at the cotton exchange before it went out of business. So on one side, these are my fall blankets. And this side will be my winter blankets. I have another one I want to make, but I just haven't made it yet. What do you think, Lexi? Yep. And my little fairy light. I absolutely love fairy lights. Over here, another chair. And we are not minimalist by any means, so we have quite the extensive gallery wall. And I will gladly keep adding to it. Pictures of places we've been. Sorry for the glares. And then some old books I found. I would like to read them. I have so many to read though. You can only read so much so fast. More photographs, art. I have lots of pictures of the market house. I think it's a very neat structure. I love old architecture. Then this is my little curio cabinet. I got Hogwarts back there. It was a Hallmark Christmas ornament. And this is Toddy. He's a snuffer, a candle snuffer. So I had went to Sanford Mall with my best friend Marnie in March and not bought him. I had wished and wished and wished I'd bought him. We even called the shop and they're like, oh no, we don't have that. We don't know what you're talking about. But I went yesterday with my friends, Sharonda and Jen, and there he was. So I had to buy him because I've been thinking about him since then. These are salt and pepper shakers, but I like them as little houses. And seashells, more little houses. These little houses are 3D printed and they open. So here's the schoolhouse with the little desks and the stove. And it makes me think of Laura Ingalls. Same with this little log cabin. It doesn't open as pretty as the other one. You've got a little fireplace, and bed and stairway and table and chairs. So yeah, when I see that, I just think of Little House on the Prairie. And more seashells and a geode. More seashells. These were my mama's seashells. When I pulled them out, I even found the little surprise of, do you see the tiny little seagull? That was pretty cool. And there's a sandcastle for her. She loved the beach. And then all my churches and little cottages. This was actually from a German railroad set. It's a little beat up, but I love it. Same with this. That one's in better condition, but I love the miniatures. More cottages. This is the general store, and this is the house, and this is the church from the movie Sarah Plain and Tall. This little couple came from an estate sale, and even though they're beat up, it just makes me think of Sarah and I can't remember her husband's name that she marries. Jacob from Sarah Plain and Tall. Another little cottage, and this is another railroad set house. I love miniatures. I love the details. I don't know can see in there, there's a little bench, little flowers. Must have had a tree that, I'll say it, fell down in a windstorm. How about that? And then this, I just got yesterday. It's Orchard House from Little Women. I love it. And then I have all these cardinals because they remind me of my mom. She loved cardinals and so did I. So when I see them, I think of her. And then there's an angel for her. She collected angels, but hers were the seraphim, really expensive angels. And I don't want to collect all the angels, but I do like them once in a while. My daughter Haley painted that I love you sign language picture. And then these are kaleidoscopes. My mother also liked to collect those. I come from a long line of collectors. She liked to collect and so do I. So, and my dad, he would say he's a collector, but he's borderline hoarder. It's, I think, a buffet for the dining room or kitchen, but we use it as like a TV stand. And it's got the nice marble top. We bought it off Facebook Marketplace. This woman had it in her basement. It actually belonged to her grandfather, who brought it from Sweden, Holland, Canada, I don't know, some other country. And the wood's inlaid. And she no longer wanted it, so I was like, yes, I will take it. My daughter Callie made that. I just think it's amazing, fun art. You gonna find something to play with, Lexi May? And then over here we have Lenny. That is his spot. That's the center drawer of a vanity dresser that used to belong to my grandmother. The dresser was falling apart. So I kept the drawer, put some legs on it, and a pillow, and now the cats love it. And he's 15, just this year. Old man, sometimes grumpy old man, but there you go. On this side of the living room, I have my oil lamps. I love the oil lamps. And this little cloche cage came from The Promise with a little bird in it. It says, "The Lord make me an instrument of your peace, St. Francis of Assisi, and an amazing grace." And I got that as a Christmas gift from my best friend Marnie. She made that for me. There's a grid of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And then my daughter Haley and Callie's, they gave this to us when they lived in Omaha. Haley now lives here in North Carolina with me. Not in Fayetteville though. She lives closer to the beach. That's Chimney Rock in western Nebraska. So here's our dining room. We got a new rug. It's a little bit brighter. I really like it, except I feel like the seat covers kind of compete with it, so I'm gonna recover those, I think, in a darker color. I love the candelabra. That came from the Cheshire Cat in Raleigh. The wreath came from Amazon. And the table runner is from eBay. Yes, I am a shopaholic. Over here we have a curio. This corner curio actually came from that conversation piece lady in Omaha. Let's see if I can stand back so you can see the whole. We were gonna try and sell it, but no one wanted to buy it, and now I just see it as the hand of God that he knew we would want it when we moved here, so we brought it with us. Look at the details in it, it's beautiful. That crock was my mama's, and that picture we just bought, the center picture, we just bought at a garage sale last weekend at the Heritage Square, and it's old. It belonged to one of the ladies there. It was her grandmother's, and then some ironstone and wooden utensils. And I have my little angel with a kitty, another church, and some cookbooks. I love cookbooks. The Better Homes and Garden one actually belonged to my grandma Ella. And I figured I had to have something, cookbook from North Carolina. My little cottage mushroom fairy. And this is a cordial glass I got at an estate sale. This is autumn leaf jewel tea. My grandma Ella used to have this. And then this is actually one of the churches in Fayetteville. You can see that, First Presbyterian Church, Fayetteville, North Carolina. So, isn't that beautiful? And of course, may vary, may be fictional, but it's based on Mount Airy here in North Carolina. And Andy Griffith actually grew up there. And I have my teapot, another little cottage. I do like those little houses. And then some teacups. The yellow teacup came from my best friend Marnie. And this one, I'm not sure, but I love them. And this white ribbon cookbook, I would pull it out, but I don't want to mess up my flowers. That's from my grandma. My grandma Ella used to work at WCTU, Women's Temperance Union, and that was their cookbook. So some dried flowers, a yellow teapot, and some more little cottages. And some pictures of, they're actually cards of Fayetteville downtown and street level market house. Isn't that awesome? Love it. That's Steve. This is Steve. Isn't he gorgeous? And that's Billy. He's a prayer plant. We know Billy Graham prayed. Was a praying man. And then Steve, we're trying to grow him a daughter here, Dolly. And then we have Rosemary. They're not doing too bad. Rosemary's doing better than Dolly. I mean, Dolly hasn't died, but she hasn't put down roots. I don't know what's going on. Then over here we have the Hoosier. I'll step back so you can see the whole Hoosier. There we go. My husband and I had wanted a Hoosier forever, but they're pricey and sometimes pieces are broken or missing. And this was the first one we'd found where all the original pieces were there. Nothing was broken, nothing was missing, nor had it been repainted. So absolutely loved it. And it was not very expensive, which was even better. So, yep, because you have the old flower bin, and you can see it's got the chute, and then there's a little holder, and then we have down here, it had the wire holder and the saver. So awesome. And it still had its original tag. So how cool is that? Then up here we have, this is my Lenny cat. He came from, there's Whimsy Vintage Barn, or that's on Etsy. It's a shop and I love them. They do mystery vintage boxes. So that's where he came from. And a couple of old books. My trip to the beach with Haley. And my rolling pins. And that is Lexi and Lenny from another shop on Rabbit Hollow Prims. They're primitives, and she's a local lady that makes those. And tucked in there's a little cardinal. So that's the top of the Hoosier. And then down here, this is my autumn vignette. When it isn't Halloween, Thanksgiving, or Christmas, it's always fall here because I love fall. So we have our little fall fairy pixie, my original little pumpkin I made for my shop. And then some more flowers and leaves. And that's Twiggy, isn't she cute? And then a fall mug full of fake acorns. And then a pumpkin candy dish that came off Amazon. That's my mother's Better Homes and Garden. And I had her recipe cards with chickens and roosters because she collected those. And that was the last one I had left, so I put my favorite recipe of hers on it. Mom's caramel brownies. And one of these times I'm gonna make them for the channel. I just haven't yet. And then we have our pictures from when we were in Omaha and our wedding picture. So that's downtown Omaha at La Bouvette. And Passage Galleries, a landmark in downtown Old Market, Omaha. That is Caffeine Dreams where we met. Caffeine Dreams is no longer. It's been changed into a beer garden restaurant. So I'm glad we have that picture before it was gone. This is actually an oak tree in downtown Fayetteville. So that's not Omaha. But that's Omaha Jean Leahy Market before they changed it. There was the park downtown, and now it's completely different. It looks great, but that's what it was before. And we have these pictures. One's Omaha landscape, one's New York. My husband brought that with him. And then this is a picture of the New York skyline that my daughter Haley did for us. And now we step into the kitchen, one of my favorite rooms. I love the kitchen, but I love baking. And my husband loves cooking, so it works out well. So over here, we have, it was a tea towel our friends gave us for Christmas. Getting a bad glare there. There we go. And I thought it was too pretty to actually use, so we hung it on the wall. It has all the stuff about North Carolina. And then that's a cross stitch, or not cross stitch, but stitching I did kind of freehand from the movie Love Comes Softly, based on the book Love Comes Softly. I don't think this quote's in the book, but in the movie, Clark Davis says it to his new wife, and says that nothing is a waste of time if it adds to the person you are. And I love that. I love that. That's why I had to stitch it. Door to the garage with my faux ranunculus, inspired by Emily, the Omaha blogger. And I have some sourdough started, and it's finally starting to really take off, so I'm pretty happy about that. Pretty happy about that. That's one of the cucumbers from our garden. Isn't that ridiculous? I mean, look at this. My husband's been using them to make refrigerator pickles. This crock, I got at one of the antique stores downtown for $10, and then filled it with seashells. During the fall and winter, I usually put pine cones in there, or Christmas baubles, or pumpkins. This is a sugar mold. Actually, it's an imitation sugar mold, because real sugar molds cost too much money. So I bought an imitation one from eBay. That was my mama's rooster lamp. My dad so kindly sent it to me. I don't really have a rooster in my kitchen, but I do like the lamp in here, and I like it in here because it reminds me of my mama. And that's Koopy, my plant Koopy, because I love Japanese maple Koopy, or Japanese mayo Koopy. The star, it lights up, and that came from Greg's Pottery downtown. And then I believe this little ornament came from a bit of Carolina downtown. And of course we have all of our cookbooks. That's not even all of them. There's another shelf full of them because we love to cook. And these are just, they look like books, but they open up, and that's where I keep all of our loose recipes. So this one is like all the favorites and family favorites. We have chocolate, dessert, breads, side dishes, soups, and main dishes. So you can kind of see a glimpse of our patio out there. Love our patio. And then the letter board came from my best friend Marnie, and the calendar was something we like to share. She puts it the entire year, but I don't really have the space for the entire year, so once a month is good. And then this piece, when my husband and I bought it on Facebook Marketplace, it actually had another shelf right here. You can still see the peg from it. And we removed it, and then my husband cut the notches in it, and then I painted it this beautiful cobalt blue so we could hang rolling pins in it. And this was one of my mama's rooster collection. That's my niece and I making her Sully cookies together. And then that holds my mom's favorite recipe, my Aunt Dina's favorite recipe, and my Grandma Ella's favorite recipe. And they're all gone. They're in heaven now. So the angel is there to kind of remind me of the hope I have in Christ. The hope everyone can have in Christ. And this, my daughter Haley painted for me. I painted one for my best friend Marnie, so we have the same picture, but not exactly the same, because Haley and I did them slightly different. There's all of my cats. And just for some whimsy, there's Koopy, my favorite mayo. I read that somewhere, that you need to have something whimsical and fun in every room. So there you go. That's the whimsy and fun in my kitchen. But honestly, I think if you love it, that's all that matters. Who cares if it makes any sense to anyone else? It's your home. You decorated it how you want to. Well, and I do have to point this out. This I made for Greg's pottery too. My acorn. This sets out all the time, except maybe at Christmas time. But I love it. Now the last room, the library. The last room on the tour will be the library. My other favorite room. My husband and I joked that we would have a house and all it would be is the library, the bathroom, and the kitchen, and we'd just sleep in the library and not need a bedroom. So all of our books and his pictures from when he lived in Buffalo. And he can use that now when he smokes a cigar or pipe in the house. And we're working on getting our fireplace up and running so we can have a working fireplace this winter. That will be awesome. Yeah. The clock is not old. That came from Amazon. But this, I bought at Michael's recently. This came from Little Cahaba Junkin Etsy store. And then that came from a antique store. I think it used to be a radio, but I just like the aesthetic of having it be Lady Liberty. Wouldn't mind collecting a few more Lady Liberties. I think they're kind of cool. And yes, look at all the books, spaces for books. Books and more books. And this isn't even all of our books. I should take you into the office. This is a Turkish tea set because my husband loved Turkish coffee. And he had me try it, and then I was like, I need to learn to make it. So yes, I know how to make Turkish coffee. And then that little gold set back there is from my friend Sharonda when she was over stationed in Iraq. And my husband's cigar humidor. And this also stores some of his stuff. It looks like books, but it's actually a little secret cupboard. We have a tendency when we go places to collect Bibles. So we just keep adding to them. And that's not even all of them we have either. Besides all the books. Bibles and books. Lots and lots. And the house has 2 Dutch doors. There's the other ones in the kitchen. And they actually are pretty handy. Then we have another gallery wall. Our wingback chairs. Those came from the Cotton Exchange. And we got a great deal on those. It was amazing. And then after they were sold, before we picked them up, everybody else wanted to keep buying them. It's like, nope, thank God we got to them first. The little table, that came from Pick and Coop. My husband picked it out. Look at the details on it. I wanted this room to kind of read like a Hogwarts common room, like Gryffindor common room or Ravenclaw maybe. So, yep, these are books we're working on. It has a little drawer that I put some bookmarks and pins in if we want to highlight something. And then this little pillow I made for my mama when my girls were little. My dad recently shipped it back to me because I'm like, I want that. Then over here, we have a cedar chest we bought from Lodestone. And it actually came in the same day we bought it, and she gave us a great deal. And it still has the original paperwork from when the lady bought it in 1949. So that's pretty cool. Then this quilt my daughter Callie made for me, and this quilt was made by my mother-in-law, Diane. And we have all of our pictures up here. This one is actually a riverbed made for me by my daughter Callie for Mother's Day. There's Jean Leahy Mall before it was changed, so it's kind of cool to have those memories before things change. And there's Lexi's pumpkin house. She's really the only one that goes in there. Silly cat. Another take care of itself plant. My dad's wife, Donna, calls them plants that take care of themselves. And I think that's kind of clever because they're fake. So no need to care about them. They take care of themselves. This chair I have had a long time. I bought it at a Goodwill for $25. My ex-husband always wanted to recover it because he hated the pattern, but I love the pattern. It's fall, It's fun, and it's cat hairy. The pillow was made by my mother-in-law, Diane, for me, and I love it. Cats and books. Speaking of, more books. And this is a picture taken by my husband of the angel that's in downtown Fayetteville. And another map. And there you go. The library. And that's Mika the Bean, the house hippo. Well, thanks for our tour. And I hope you come back again soon. I enjoy having you in my home, friends.